Hey everybody, I'm John the Editor, obviously, and I'm going to start with a question. Is Canada still a nation of laws? Sometimes we don't ask questions because we're afraid we already know the answer. In this case, I'm asking with an admission that I don't know. Michael Bryant, who is the director of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, said 3 days ago, SNC-Gate might be the way the Kremlin works, wherein Putin officials manipulate the justice system to benefit his friends, that's Putin's friends, but not Canada. Nobody is above the law in this country. Nobody, full stop. I'm not sure Mr. Bryant is actually correct, but I remain an optimist. If you haven't followed the news, SNC-Gate is the ongoing scandal which might be the end of Trudeau's Liberals. It is claimed the former Attorney General was fired for her failure to give a free pass to SNC-Lavalin on corruption charges. The Globe and Mail reported on Thursday that the company lobbied Trudeau for a deal and that the Prime Minister's office pressured the then Attorney General Wilson Raybould to make that happen. The new Attorney General, David Lametti, has said that there is no reason for any investigation. This seems pretty strange, particularly as Lametti seems to be arriving on the job with a good reputation. What he has said gives me a different reading on the new guy, but I don't want to become jaded or cynical. What has also emerged is that Trudeau's 2018 federal budget includes a provision giving corporate fraudsters a get-out-of-jail-free card. Ontario Business Journal called this Federal Budget Bill quietly proposes tool to ease penalties for corporate crime, and there's a link to that in the low bar. And although this change is not yet in effect in law, SNC-Lavalin has been allowed to delay any hearings or investigations until after Bill C-74's changes to the criminal code take effect. Link to that in the low bar. In case you missed this detail, the alleged criminal fraud and bribery that SNC-Lavalin would be prosecuted for seems to be being made retroactively legal by the changes snuck through in the federal Liberals' budget 2018. I started out this video with a question: do we still live in a country ruled by laws? The alternative, as I see it, is do we live under the rule of somebody's whim, disconnected from the leveling authority of law? And I'm aware from the comments in a few of my recent videos that some of you might already be typing furious replies. There have been a lot of people saying the rule of law is gone, Canada's at a loss, it's a write-off, men should leave the country, and so on and so forth. I'm not convinced that is true, and I'm still here. I think the man elected as this country's Prime Minister is so empty of substance, so lacking in character, that he functions as a well-dressed marionette. Now, that's not to say he's operated by a Gerald Butts type like the late Jim Henson operated Kermit the Frog. Rather, Trudeau is so lacking in character or substance that he is simply the flavor and the color of the water he swims in. He's pretty, he's self-worshipping, he is as shallow as a saucer of urine. He appeals to woke sophomores whose feelings give them better answers to complex problems than evidence or knowledge can. But the effect on national leadership of this empty character is that no principle seems to inform our government or its institutions. What you get is a tyranny in the style of a spoiled and petulant child. But again, I'll say it's not Trudeau who is the tyrant as far as I can tell, and I'm not giving him a free pass in saying so. What we appear to have now seems to be a tyranny informed by a kind of woke cult concerned only with signaling phony virtue, because this empty man is the figurehead for a political culture lacking any compass. Thus, he and his government have made fertile ground for criminals, scam artists, snake oil salesmen, shysters, and confidence hustlers to operate within. So, scammers and criminals have prospered and multiplied within the ungoverned growth medium that Trudeau created. This is unfortunately very bad news for any of the official parties of opposition as well, because every political leader who might replace the regime of the little potato has risen to their prominence within their respective parties in the fertile environment created by this weak, empty man, channeling the cult that he's the decorative figurehead for. You can take your pick of Conservative brand A or B, Liberal, NDP, Green Party, or People's Party. The growth medium that these are growing from is the culture with the little potato at the head. And I'm not telling you this to make you miserable. If you have read through the news, you'll see an awful lot of journalists citing the opinions of prosecutors and legal scholars and former judges, and all of these opinions converge towards police investigation and prosecution. Trudeau's shiny new Attorney General keeps saying there's nothing to worry about, but if anybody believed that, he wouldn't have to keep saying it. Now, I wrote all of that last night, and the very strange thing that I thought was nobody has dialed 911 yet. As of this morning, CTV News was reporting that the Ethics Commissioner is finally beginning an investigation, which I guess is news that should satisfy somebody, I imagine. But I'm left with the question, why is this a question of ethics and not a question of law? Section 139 of the Criminal Code says, anyone who willfully attempts in any manner to obstruct, pervert, or defeat the course of justice in a judicial proceeding is guilty of either an indictable offense or a summary offense. I left out some details. I'll link to the Criminal Code section in the low bar as well. Thanks very much for listening, and as always, have a lovely, lovely day.